Welcome to Rise and Conquer US UK, your daily source of unstoppable motivation. Here, we build discipline, courage, and focus so you can rise higher and conquer your dreams. Motivation feels good. It's that spark, that rush of energy when everything seems possible. You watch a video, hear a speech, and for a moment, you feel unstoppable. But then it fades because motivation is emotion, and emotions change. They rise, they fall, they lie. One day you're ready to conquer the world. The next day, you can't even get out of bed. That's why the ones who win in life don't depend on motivation. They depend on discipline. Discipline doesn't care how you feel. It doesn't wait for perfect timing. It doesn't need hype or applause. Discipline shows up, whether you're tired, broken, bored, or afraid. Because discipline isn't a mood, it's a muscle. And the more you use it, the stronger it gets. You see, motivation gets you started, but discipline keeps you going. Motivation is a spark. Discipline is the fire that keeps burning long after the spark dies. Motivation will tell you, do it when you feel ready. Discipline says, do it until you are ready. That's the difference between temporary effort and permanent greatness. The truth is, everyone is motivated sometimes, but very few are disciplined every time. That's why results are rare, because everyone wants success when it's exciting, but few want success when it's boring, painful, and repetitive. But here's the secret. Discipline lives in repetition. It's built in the moments no one claps for, in the hours when no one is watching, in the choices you make when no one is checking. That's where strength is born, in silence. Discipline doesn't ask, do I feel like it? It asks, did I promise myself I would? Because when you keep breaking your own word, you lose trust in yourself. And when you lose trust, you lose power. You stop believing in your ability to follow through. That's why disciplined people are confident. Not because they have it easy, but because they keep their word. Every rep, every early morning, every late night. It's not just building results, it's building trust. Motivation might get you out of bed once. Discipline will get you out of bed every day. Motivation will push you for a week. Discipline will push you for a lifetime. Motivation is emotional. Discipline is foundational. If you only move when you feel like it, you'll never move far. The real transformation begins the moment you stop needing to feel ready. Discipline is doing it anyway. Tired? Do it anyway. Unmotivated? Do it anyway. Scared? Do it anyway. Alone? Do it anyway. Because discipline doesn't need permission, it just needs purpose. Every time you act despite feelings, you prove that you're stronger than them. And once you realize that, you'll never depend on motivation again. Motivation is about excitement. Discipline is about execution. One feels good, the other gets it done. That's why motivation is popular and discipline is rare, because discipline is not glamorous. It's not emotional. It's repetition. It's showing up when no one's clapping. It's being consistent when progress is invisible. But here's the truth. The invisible days are the ones that define you. Discipline builds habits. Habits build character. Character builds destiny. That's the chain. Break discipline and everything else collapses. Because what you do daily is more powerful than what you do occasionally. Small choices shape your future. Tiny habits build massive results. And consistency beats intensity every single time. You want a stronger mind? Train it daily. You want a better body? Show up daily. You want a peaceful life? Practice discipline daily. Because growth doesn't care about feelings. It responds to consistency. Motivation is about how you feel today. Discipline is about who you want to be forever. The truth is, discipline is love, self-love. It's loving yourself enough to do what's right. Even when it's hard, it's respecting yourself enough to stop making excuses. It's believing that your future deserves effort, even when the present feels uncomfortable. That's what self-respect looks like. Not comfort, but commitment. You'll have days when you're tired, days when you question why you started, days when results seem invisible. And that's when discipline saves you. Because discipline doesn't need a reason. It has a rule. I show up. And showing up is everything. Because once you show up, momentum takes over. Action creates energy. Energy creates belief. And belief creates success. Discipline isn't about perfection. It's about consistency. You'll slip. You'll fall. You'll miss days. But what matters is that you don't quit. You stand up, you adjust, and you keep going. That's discipline. Not flawless effort, but relentless effort. When you stop chasing motivation, you find freedom. Because motivation makes you chase feeling good. Discipline makes you chase becoming great. One wants comfort, the other builds character. Motivation is easy. Discipline is earned. And that's why discipline wins every single time. The most dangerous person is not the one with talent. It's the one with discipline. Because talent can fade. Luck can change. But discipline never leaves you. It's the one thing you can rely on when nothing else works. When motivation dies, discipline whispers, keep going. When the world doubts you, discipline says, I'll prove it. When your emotions lie, discipline tells the truth. Discipline is not the absence of emotion. It's mastery over it. It's doing what needs to be done. Even when your mind screams not to, it's moving forward. When fear says stop, it's rising every day to serve your purpose, not your mood. Because your purpose deserves more than your emotions allow. One day, people will ask you how you did it. And you'll tell them it wasn't motivation. It wasn't luck. It was discipline. Because while they waited for the right moment, you built the right mindset. While they waited for energy, you created habits. While they looked for comfort, you found control. That's the power of discipline. It turns ordinary into unstoppable. Motivation is temporary. Discipline is eternal. Motivation is fire. Discipline is fuel. Motivation starts things. Discipline finishes them. And you don't win for starting. You win for finishing. So stop waiting to feel ready. Start showing up because you're committed. Stop chasing motivation. Start choosing discipline because the day you stop asking, do I feel like it? And start asking, did I do it? Is the day your life begins to change. Discipline is freedom. Discipline is power. Discipline is peace. And the ones who understand that don't just rise, they conquer. Everyone wants to be great until they realize greatness is repetitive. It's not a movie moment. It's not a single victory. It's 1,000 small choices made when no one's watching. Consistency is the bridge between goals and greatness. It's the gap between potential and proof. It's what turns I want to into I did. Because without consistency, discipline means nothing. Discipline gets you started. Consistency keeps you going. Discipline is the decision. Consistency is the follow-through. One moment of discipline can change a day. A lifetime of consistency can change your destiny. And the truth is, consistency isn't built in comfort. It's built in boredom. It's built in pain. It's built in the quiet repetition of doing the same thing again and again and again until it becomes who you are. Everyone wants results. Few want repetition, but repetition is where results are born. It's where the real work hides. In the hours that no one claps for, you won't always see progress. You won't always feel motivated. But if you stay consistent, progress will find you. Because consistency doesn't care about your emotions. It only listens to your effort. The secret of the great ones, they stopped treating discipline as a task and turned it into identity. They don't try to be consistent. They are consistent. It's who they are. Because when consistency becomes part of your identity, you stop needing motivation altogether. You stop waiting for energy. You stop negotiating with your goals. You just do it. Every single day, you have two choices. Do what's easy or do what's right. And every time you choose right, you build self-respect. Every time you choose easy, you build regret. Consistency is built on tiny victories, the invisible wins that compound quietly until the world finally notices. That's how you separate average from elite. Average people wait for inspiration. Elite people rely on routine. Your routine is your weapon. Because discipline is not about motivation. It's about momentum. Momentum builds slowly, but once it starts, it doesn't stop. You might not feel progress daily, but every small step is training your brain. I don't quit. I don't skip. I don't make excuses. And that programming becomes your power. It's easy to show up when it's fun. It's easy to train when you feel strong. It's easy to work when success is near. But consistency is proven on the days when it's not easy, when you're tired, when you're uninspired, when no one's watching. That's when you build real strength. Because anyone can start, but only the consistent can finish. Success doesn't come from intensity. It comes from consistency. One great day won't change your life, but hundreds of average disciplined days will. It's not about being perfect every time. It's about being present every time. Because consistency beats perfection every single day. Think about it. A drop of water doesn't break a rock because it's powerful. It breaks it because it's persistent. That's the law of consistency. Small effort, repeated endlessly, creates massive results. And that's why people fail. Not because they don't have potential, but because they stop showing up. They quit in the middle. They get bored. They want speed over mastery. But mastery has no shortcuts, only repetition. Consistency is a quiet commitment. No applause, no spotlight, just discipline in motion. It's doing the right thing when no one will ever know. It's finishing what you start, even when it's hard. It's being reliable to yourself. That's how legends are made. Not through hype, but through habit. If you want to change your life, stop asking how to stay motivated. Start learning how to stay consistent. Motivation will push you today. Consistency will build you tomorrow. Motivation makes you feel powerful. Consistency makes you powerful because motivation is emotion. Consistency is evolution. Your habits decide your future, not your goals, not your dreams, not your wishes. Habits, because habits are who you are. When no one's watching, you can't fake them. You can't skip them. You can only build them slowly. And the truth is, you'll never rise higher than your standards. So set them high and meet them every day. Your standard should be, I don't quit. I don't skip. I don't negotiate with excuses. You won't always be perfect, but you'll always be progressing. That's what consistency guarantees. Progress. Every time you show up, you're proving your purpose matters more than your mood. That's power. Because consistency doesn't make life easier. It makes you stronger. When you show up tired, you're building resilience. When you show up unmotivated, you're building identity. When you show up afraid, you're building courage. And that's why consistency is sacred. It's how you turn effort into excellence. The secret to mastery is repetition. The secret to repetition is patience. And the secret to patience is faith. Faith that every small action is shaping something great. That even when you don't see results, you're still growing. Because real change doesn't happen in the spotlight. It happens in the shadows of consistency. Consistency makes you predictable, not to others, but to yourself. It builds self-trust. And self-trust is the root of confidence. Because when you know you'll show up, you stop doubting yourself. You stop hoping, you start knowing. And that belief makes you unstoppable. People talk about success as if it's luck. It's not luck. It's not talent. It's discipline plus time. And consistency is what makes both work. It's not the one big move. It's the 1,000 small ones. The late nights, the early mornings, the do it anyway days. That's where legends are born. No one will understand your grind. They won't see your sacrifices. They won't feel your pain. But one day, they'll see the results. And when they ask how you did it, you'll smile and say, I just never stopped. Because that's what consistency is. Quiet, invisible, relentless persistence. Discipline builds habits. Consistency makes them unbreakable. Together, they build empires. So stop chasing big moments. Start chasing small wins. Because big moments don't build your life. Your daily habits do. Remember this. Motivation starts your fire. Discipline keeps it burning. Consistency makes it eternal. If you want to build something that lasts, be the kind of person who shows up every day, especially when it's hard. You don't need motivation to move forward. You just need the strength to stay consistent until your success becomes second nature. Because once your effort becomes identity, you'll never have to chase greatness again. It will follow you. Be consistent. Be relentless. Be patient. Be unstoppable. Because anyone can start, but only the consistent can conquer. You don't need motivation. You need momentum. Because motivation fades, but momentum feeds itself. Motivation waits for energy. Momentum creates energy. Motivation asks for a reason. Momentum becomes the reason. That's why the great ones don't chase inspiration. They chase movement. They understand that motion creates motivation, not the other way around. The truth is, you'll never feel ready. And you don't need to. You just need to start small, quiet, and consistent. Because the moment you move, the mind begins to shift. The fear begins to fade. The resistance begins to weaken. You stop waiting for perfect conditions and start realizing the act of doing creates the desire to keep doing. That's momentum. Momentum is power in motion. It doesn't demand perfection. It only asks for persistence. You don't have to sprint. You just have to keep walking. Because every step compounds. Every effort builds. Every day you show up adds another layer to your strength. Momentum doesn't care how fast you move, only that you don't stop. There will be days when you don't see results, days when it feels pointless, days when your effort seems invisible. But even then, you're still moving forward, still learning, still growing. Because progress doesn't always announce itself. Sometimes it whispers, and those whispers turn into waves. If you keep going long enough, you don't need to do everything at once. You just need to do something today. Something small, something simple. And when you wake up tomorrow, do it again. That's how momentum grows. Quietly, faithfully, daily. Until one day you realize you're no longer forcing discipline. You are discipline. Momentum doesn't come from motivation. It comes from consistency, from trust, from patience. It's not built overnight. It's built over time. And when it takes over, you'll feel it. That quiet fire that doesn't depend on emotion anymore. You'll stop needing hype. You'll stop searching for energy. You'll move simply because it's who you are now. You don't rise by feeling ready. You rise by being consistent. You conquer by creating momentum and never letting it stop. Because once you start moving, you become unstoppable. So stop waiting to feel motivated. Start moving right now. Because the more you move, the stronger you get. The stronger you get, the more you move. That's the cycle of greatness. That's the rhythm of success. That's momentum. Don't wait for motivation. Create motion. Build momentum. Stay consistent. And as always, rise and conquer. This was your daily dose of motivation from Rise and Conquer US UK. Remember, your time is now. Stand tall, stay disciplined, and rise and conquer. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for tomorrow's motivation.